2 nights. Try for some more here tonight in Game 3. Dave Bush set to work. Xavier Paul leads off and takes high ball 1. The numbers for the Brewers right-hander Bush so far this year. This is his 6th start. He's 1-2 so far, ERA of 4.6. And the home run ball has really hurt Bush so far this year. And the 1-0 missed. 2 balls and no strike. Davey, 7 home runs given up by Bush in roughly 29 innings pitched this year.
Well, Dave Bush has always been susceptible to the long ball.
Behind 2-0, the pitch to Paul. Ball 3 outside.
And that's one of the things, if Dave can stay away from it early, then he really gets into a groove.
All those stats aside, though, Bush, at least I felt he was the most consistent starter the first 2.5 weeks of the season, but he walks Paul on 4 straight to begin the Dodger first. Xavier Paul, his first start after Reed Johnson was in left field to begin the game each of the first 2 nights. But Paul is at first, and here's Matt Kemp as Joe Torre, Davey, kind of changing up his order tonight, trying to give LA a spark. He has Kemp batting second.
Well, that's exactly what he's trying to do is give this team a spark by switching things up. I've seen managers, I played for Billy Martin, and I've seen a team was going bad, and he just put all the names in a hat and said, pick. That's where you're going to bat in the lineup.
Kemp hit in the cleanup spot the first 2 nights. Dodgers center fielder. The pitch from Bush is popped foul. First base side. That's going to reach the seats. And it's 0-1.
You know, that's kind of strange. You know, Matt Kemp took a fastball inside, fouled it off, and it wasn't a good pitch. He wasn't looking for it. And here, Dave Bush had walked on 4 pitches, walked Paul, and he swings at the first pitch, puts himself in the hole.
Kemp 3 hits and 8 at bats so far in the series. Paul has a 3-step lead at first. Not going, the 0-1 pitch down and away. Good block by Zahn, keeping Paul at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andre Ethier due up next. As always, a late arriving crowd here at Dodger Stadium. This place was jumping back on Tuesday, over 50,000. And last night, Cinco de Mayo, they announced 35,000. The runner goes. The 1-1 is outside. Throw to second. Gets off the glove of Weeks. Not in time. That's a steal for Paul as the ball kind of hit off the top of the leather of Ricky's glove. Did not travel all that far behind. Stayed on the infield dirt. And that's a steal for Paul. And the Dodgers have a runner at second. Nobody out.
Well, that's the other thing that Dave Bush is susceptible to is a stolen base because of his delivery. And Greg Zahn had to rush his throw and threw it on the second base side, and I thought he would have Paul had the base stolen.
Second steal for Paul this year. And the 2-1 pitch. Kemp swings and fouls it back. 2-2. Well, the Brewers are shading Kemp a bit to right center. Now Edmonds moving over a few steps. Pretty much straight away right now. No score, bottom 1. Paul at second, nobody out. The sign and the 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air to center. Edmonds going back. With room, Edmonds makes the catch. Tagging, taking third is Paul. And there's out number 1. But the Dodgers have a run 90 feet away at third for Andre Ethier.
That was a good job by Matt Kemp. Got a breaking ball from Bush and stayed right there to advance the runner. Nice little, Jim Evans is just such a great center fielder. He made that look easy.
Looked like a wide receiver right there. Going out, running a post pattern. Over the shoulder catch. Well, maybe 3 steps shy of the track in dead center. And the Brewers will bring the infield up for Andre Ethier. Ethier against Bush in his career is 2 out of 8 with a home run. And the pitch on the way. Off speed, missed outside. Ball 1. Like Kemp, Ethier is 3 out of 8. A couple of runs scored so far in this series. Mentioned his average tops in the National League at 366. 9 homers and 26 RBIs. Off to a great start. And the 1-0 pitch, a swing and a foul back. It's 1-1.
You know, Corey, a lot of times managers are different. Some managers would concede the run early in the game by having the infield play back with a guy like Ethier up. And Ken Maka chose to make him earn it and has the infield in to cut the run off.
1 ball, 1 strike. Paul at third, 1 away in the first, no score. And the 1-1 pitch, curveball, cued foul up along third. And it's 1-2. What about for the hitter? How does that change things for the hitter when he sees the infield playing up?
Well, what that hitter does now, he says, I've got to think of something I can elevate. I've got to get a pitch I can elevate to hit the ball in the air.
Bush could use a strikeout. He's ahead 1-2 with 1 down, and Paul at third. Here's the pitch. Fastball up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That fastball from Bush, 86 miles per hour. On the Roadrunner high-speed online radar gun. Ethier pumps that bat off his left shoulder. And the 2-2 pitch inside. That's ball 3. That one kind of staggers Ethier across the plate. And now it's full with Loney to follow. Bush coming off a good outing his last time out in San Diego. 7 innings, 3 runs on 6 hits. He took the loss. And the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball missed outside, ball 4. And the Dodgers have runners at the corners for Loney.
Well, Dave Bush tried to throw a little backdoor breaking ball. Just stayed outside and trying to be very careful with Ethier.
James Loney has driven in 4 runs in this series. The Dodgers have scored a total of 9 to the Brewers 22. Dodgers first baseman Loney off to a great start. 339, 2 homers, 18 RBIs. And like Ethier, he bats from the left side. Again, no Manny Ramirez in the lineup. He is currently on the disabled list with a calf injury. The leg kick and the pitch. Outside, ball 1. No Rafael Furcal. He is also disabled with a hamstring injury, but Ramirez is expected to return Saturday when the Dodgers host the Rockies.
He's playing in a game tonight for their Class A team in the California League.
From the stretch, runners at the corners, no score the first, and the 1-0 curveball strike. That was the pitch Davey he wanted against Ethier on the 3-2. That outside corner with a curve.
Well, it certainly was. And what Dave Bush has the ability to do is change speeds on his curveball. He can have a big slow break, or he can have one that's really biting and goes down.
This is Bush's 3rd career start at Dodger Stadium. He is 0-1 in his previous 2. The side from zone, and the 1-1 pitch hit in the air to center and deep. Edmonds racing back, still going, makes the catch on the warning track. Paul tags and scores from third, and the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead on Loney's sac fly to center.
Boy, Loney hit that ball pretty good, and that's what the Dodgers try to do, is manufacture some runs there, and the big stolen base by Paul, and then you get them over, and then the long sacrifice fly.
5th RBI of the series for Loney, is 19th of the year. So the leadoff walk to Paul comes back, and the Dodgers had the game's first run. Ethier did not tag here. He remains at first, but now 2 down for Casey Blake, who is 2 out of 9 in this series, hitting .258 for the year. And the pitch on the way is a strike. Off to Arizona after this one is over tonight to wrap up this long West Coast trip. The leg kick, the 0-1 in the dirt, blocked by Zahn. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is game number 7 of the 10-game trip, and the Brewers right now are 3-3. After a rough stay in San Diego, dropping 3 of 4, the crew has come back, again winning the first 2 of this series. 1-0 Dodgers here in the first. Ethier at first, 2 down, and the batter is Casey Blake. The leg kick and the 1-1 pitch inside, ball 2. Now Zahn sending signs. Bush bends over at the waist. Holds the ball chest high. And the 2-1 pitch is popped up. Back a second. Weeks out. Hart racing in. And Rickey makes the call, the catch. And the inning is over. But the Dodgers get a run on 2 walks. They leave 1. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's after 1. Our new score, Dodgers 1, Brewers nothing. Quick Trip.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
7 or more runs in any inning tonight from the Brewers is a Menards big inning. And that will make David Derringer from West Allis the winner of the $1,000 Menards gift card. Visit any Wisconsin Menards store for entry forms and contest information. Good luck to David Derringer from West Allis, tonight's contestant. 1-0 Dodgers after 1. The Brewers set to bat here in the second. It'll be McGee, Zahn, and Hart. See how they do against John Eli, making his second career start. His first start ever here at Dodger Stadium. Made his debut back on April 28th in New York. He took the loss against the Mets, giving up 5 runs on 6 hits in 6 innings as McGee takes a strike. But Davey, I was looking at his line score. It's somewhat deceiving. He had 1 bad inning, and that was the second. He gave up 4 of his 5 runs. And I remember seeing the highlights of that game. The 0-1 to McGee, missed outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. It was a cool, blustery, windy day in New York. Certainly not ideal conditions to pitch in. And the 1-1 to McGee, a swing and a miss, 1-2.
Well, you know, one of the things what tells me about this young man, after giving those 4 runs up, he did come back and pitch pretty doggone good, so he didn't get rattled.
1-2 strikes to McGee. Here it comes. McGee, a ground ball up the middle, base hit center field. That was up in the zone, and McGee took it right back through the box. That's Casey's 4th hit of the series, 2nd hit for the crew tonight, and the Brewers have the leadoff man on here in the second.
Once again, Casey kind of tomahawked a high fastball, and you know, John Eli right now is trying to establish his fastball. He's throwing a lot of fastballs.
And here is Greg Zahn, hit his first homer of the year. Back on Tuesday night. Down the line and right, the pitch. Zahn swings. It's a high pop fly, playable shallow left center. Paul Ian, the left fielder, calls off Kemp, and he's got it for out number 1. 1-0 Dodgers, 1 away in the second, and here is Corey Hart, hitting .268 for the year.
You know, one of the things what some pitchers might do, they know the scouting report that he's a breaking ball pitcher. A lot of times early, they'll try to establish your fastball.
McGee takes a small lead over at first. Eli now from the stretch, and the pitch to Hart, down low, ball 1. I know you were in this position many times in your big league career. Is this the kind of game where, you know, guys like Weeks, Edmonds, maybe even Greg Zahn right now, that guys are communicating with one another inside the dugout, what they have seen so far from Eli?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And they'll come back and say, well, you know, I thought this guy was a breaking ball pitcher, you know, and he's been showing me all fastballs. So they may change later in the game.
Now the 1-0 pitch is popped up. Left side foul ground over near the Dodger dugout. Casey Blake has room, and he's got it for out number 2.
Really, and once again, another fastball. And probably in the scouting report, everybody's saying, you know, he's a breaking ball pitcher, breaking ball pitcher. Well, they haven't seen many breaking balls so far.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is brought to you in part by Ice Cold Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed for great Pilsner taste. Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. 2 down, it's up to Escobar. McGee, after that leadoff single, remains at first. Zahn fly to left, and Hart popped out to third. And quickly 2 down as Escobar takes ball 1. Escobar has done his job in this series. I mentioned the numbers that Braun, Fielder, and McGee have put up, but Escobar has walked, a couple of hits. The 1-0 is a strike. Officially, Davies 2 out of 6, but you want Escobar to hit the ball on the ground or just be patient and just get on base and use that speed.
That's right, and he has good speed. I think he's a very good bunter. I don't think he bunts enough.
And the throw over, and McGee is back in.
Well, I remember coming up as a rookie, and I had this speed, and they just said, hit the ball on the ground and run.
1-0 Dodgers here in the second. McGee at first, 2 down. And the 1-1 pitch, strike 2 call. Another fastball from Eli at 87 miles per hour. He's got some good latent movement on that fastball. It tails away from right-handed batters.
For me right now, he's pitching backwards as far as the scouting report.
1-2 the count to Escobar with 2 down here in the second. Here's the pitch on the way. A ground ball to third. That's fair. Behind third, Blake fires to second for the out. Gets the force, and the inning is over. A leadoff single from Casey McGee, but nothing else. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's. We played 1.5. It remains 1-0 Dodgers.
You bundle. Price guaranteed until 2012.
1-0 Dodgers. LA set to bat here in the home half of the second inning. We thank you for listening, and before we get too far along here tonight, we want to say hello to Mr. Baseball, the voice of the Brewers, Hall of Famer Bob Uecker, tuning in tonight. And great to say this, that Bob is back home. Here is Martin, and the pitch from Bush is high, ball 1. Got this released today that Bob was released from Froedtert Hospital after undergoing successful heart surgery back on Friday. And Bob released a statement, and the pitch, check swing strike, which I want to give to you right now. And this is Bob's words, saying, quote, I am extremely grateful for the well wishes from Brewers fans, friends, and associates, as their support has been a great comfort to me and my family. And the 1-1 pitch, upstairs, ball 2. He went on to say, I also want to thank the doctors and staff at Froedtert for the extraordinary care that they have provided, and I believe their standard of care for all patients is unmatched. The 2-1 pitch, strike 2 called. And in closing, Bob mentioned, I am encouraged that the recovery process is going very well, and I look forward to a return to the broadcast booth later on this summer. That is certainly great news, Uke. We miss you, buddy. The pitch hit in the air, right center. Edmonds racing back, deep in the gap. He's going to get there to make the catch for out number 1. Boy, Jim Edmonds, Dave, you mentioned it earlier. He's never in a panic, is he, in center?
No, he really isn't. And that's why he gets such great jumps. He takes great routes, but it's almost like he's gliding, and he just has great acceleration.
So, again, great news. And, Bob, continue to rest, get healthy. And as you said yourself, we'll see you soon, my friend, back here in the booth. 1-0 Dodgers. Bases empty. And one down here in the second. Here is Blake DeWitt. Dodgers second baseman takes down low, ball one. DeWitt batting .294 for the year. Zahn sets up outside. And the 1-0 pitch right there, but it missed the corner. And it's 2-0. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball pulled softly foul first base side. And it's 2-1. Well, hopefully the Brewers can rally here tonight, take the lead, and then what they did late last night, tacking on those Badger Mutual Insurance runs. And again, all insurance runs sponsored by Badger Mutual. You can always count on your friends at Badger Mutual Insurance to make sure your auto, home, or business is properly protected. Badger Mutual Insurance, protecting people's dreams since 1887. Leg kick and the 2-1 pitch. Strike two call. Fastball from Bush. Tailing back inside at 88 miles per hour. DeWitt bats from the left side. Bush off the first base out of the rubber. Deals 2-2. Breaking ball pulled wide of first. Fielder is there. Gloves, underhands to Bush on the bag for out number 2.
Shortstop number 14, Jamie Carroll.
And Jamie Carroll is once again at short, playing for the injured Rafael Furcal. Dodgers made a corresponding roster move back on Tuesday. They brought up infielder Nick Green. We have seen Green once. He came on in a pinch hit role back on Tuesday. As Carroll takes outside, ball one. Carroll at .250 for the year. Carroll's been around. The 1-0 pitch, strike called. Spent the last 2 years with the Indians. He's a former Rocky. With the Nationals, when they began playing in 2005, was also with the Expos in Montreal. 1-1 pitch, pop foul, first base side. That'll reach the seats, 1-2.
Jamie Carroll's one of those ball players that is very serviceable. He can play short. He can play second. He can play some third base.
36 years old, 5'9", 168 pounds. He was born in Evansville, Indiana. And the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball missed outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He signed as a free agent back in December. And he's a good story because it did not come easy for Carroll. He did not make his major league debut until he was 28. 2-2 pitch, line foul, slicing down the right field side. And we'll do it again. You know, some guys, Davey, as you well know, a year or two in the minors and boom, here they are. But not for Carroll. He was in the minor leagues for a long time, from '96 until making his debut with the Expos in late of 2002.
Well, it's a lot of perseverance right there, and a lot of heart.
1-0 Dodgers here in the second. Bases empty, 2 down. The 2-2 pitch, low, ball 3. With the pitcher, Eli, due up next. And always like to face the pitcher to begin an inning. Bush has walked 2. And that leadoff walk to Paul in the first led to the game's only run so far. And the 3-2 pitch, a line drive to right. That's a base hit. And it gets by Corey Hart, rolling all the way to the wall. This will be at least 2 for Carroll. He thought about it, but he will stop at second with a 2-out double. As Corey Hart was playing Carroll towards the line, but that ball was hit really towards the gap in right center, and Corey had no chance to cut that ball off, as Carroll is now at second with 2 down.
Well, with Dave Bush falling behind the count 3-2, just threw a center cut fastball that Jamie Carroll did a nice job in hitting it in the gap, but normally, you know, you just won't throw the pitch. When he got behind, he threw a center cut fastball.
John Eli 0 for 2 at the plate this year. He throws righty. He also bats from the right side. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Breaking ball strike. You talk with scouts, advanced scouts, and managers will chime in on this as well, but how pitchers work to pitchers at the plate, that has all changed. The 0-1 pitch, a ground ball to third, backhanded by McGee. Sets, throws across, good throw, but gets by fielder. And a run's going to score. Dodgers lead 2-0. As that throw from McGee, it did not look like a poor throw. But fielder had to pull his left arm back in towards the bag and towards the first base line and did not want to get into an awkward collision, I believe, with Eli. And the Dodgers have a 2-0 lead.
Well, nice play by Casey. Now, it looked like the throw tailed in to the runner a little bit. Nope. And it was on the first base or the home plate side of first base, and it just went off Prince's glove.
And the ball rolled into the Brewers dugout, so Eli gets second. That's going to be an error on fielder. That's the right call looking at the replay. It was not a bad throw by McGee. Here's Xavier Paul. He takes down low, ball one. No RBI for Eli as Carroll scores. And the Dodgers have a 2-0 lead. Ball, no strikes to Paul. He walked and scored back in the first, and the 1-0 pitch inside, ball two. But just to go back to that point, hitters, pitchers can hit nowadays. Especially, we look at Micah Owings with the Reds and Carlos Zambrano, Giovanni Gallardo.
Right.
You just can't throw these guys, fastball cookies over the plate anymore.
No, not look at Randy Wolf. I mean, he's another guy that swings the bat pretty good.
The leg kick, the 2-0 pitch, down low, ball three to Paul.
Corey, and that's why sometimes you say, oh, how come he walked that guy? Or why is he pitching him so careful? Well, because if you throw a center cut fastball, this guy's going to crush it.
2-0 Dodgers, and Paul is ahead 3-0 with Eli at second. And Bush from the stretch, the kick and the pitch. Strike call. Doug Davis said that, Davey. And remember at the on-deck event in January at his press conference that when you look at the numbers now, Davis led the National League in walks last year, but he said some of the walks, they're on purpose. I mean, he knows the numbers. He knows certain guys have had success against him in his career. A 3-1 pitch, strike two, called, and the count is now full. That Doug knows that certain batters are hitting well over 400 lifetime against him, so he's not going to give that batter a chance. He's going to walk him intentionally. Well,
that's right. What happens is that you're not going to give in and just say, okay, here it is, hit it. But so you try to pitch around him, make him hit your pitch.
Runner at second, two down. Dodgers by two in the second. The 3-2 pitch, a ground ball to first. That's fair. Past the diving fielder down the right field line. Over in the corner. Eli scores. Paul the second. 3-0 Dodgers. Now 2 runs are in, and this inning should be over. But the Dodgers lead by 3.
A little breaking ball that Paul hit down the line. They were playing him off the line, but breaking ball that didn't break down, didn't have much bite on it.
Prince to his left made a diving attempt, but it just bounced right past the Brewers' first baseman, and Eli scored with ease from second. Now Paul at second, his third double this year, and that's his first RBI of the year. And here's Matt Kemp, who flied out to center back in the first. He's 3 out of 9 so far in this series. And the pitch, off-speed strike. (3-0) LA, but a long way to go. It's early. I'd like to get Kemp here and face Ethier to begin the third inning. And the 0-1 in the dirt, blocked by Zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, Corey, that's what you're saying, you know, is that it's early, but right now you've got to choke it off and stop the bleeding and get this third out.
Both runs unearned. Paul at second, 2 down, 3-0 LA. And the 1-1 pitch outside, ball 2. Bush already at 50 pitches. Here tonight, he's split right down the middle. 25 strikes, 25 balls.
And that's not a very good ratio.
Behind Kemp, 2-1, hitting .292 for the year. Now Kemp steps out, and Bush wants on to go through the signs one more time.
You know, Corey, and that's what happens when you don't make that routine play that prints the ball go off his glove. Then you cause the pitcher to throw more pitches.
Now Zahn going out. This is a good idea, and I like what Zahn is doing here. As he and Bush not on the same page right now. And, you know, we keep saying it is early, but Dodgers have 2 in, a runner in scoring position at second, and a good hitter due up. You want to be in sync right now.
Well, without a doubt. And I think David was comfortable in throwing a certain pitch. It wasn't called, so that's why he kept trying to get change the signal.
2 balls and a strike. Paul at second. 2 down, the pitch outside, ball 3. To Matt Kemp. The Silver Slugger Award last year. In center field. Bush behind 3-1. Runner at second, 2 down in the second. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Good fastball from Bush. That was his best fastball of the night so far. Good late movement and some zip on it as well.
Well, that's what Dave needs to do, is throw a little two-seamer that had some movement, so instead of that straight 4-seam fastball.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Paul at second. Kemp at the plate. Righty versus righty. And the payoff pitch, ball 4 to Kemp. So this Dodgers second continues, and Andre Ethier is the batter. Let's see, Rick Peterson is going to pop out of the dugout. Yep, and make a quick trip to the mound. They want to talk strategy with Ethier in the box. And while that conversation goes on, we step out. 10 seconds for station identification from Dodger Stadium on the Brewers Radio Network.
This is your news, weather, and traffic station, and the home of the Packers, Brewers, Badgers, and Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Folks, everybody loves a winner. That's why so many people love Usingers. Over 130 years of unmatched quality in every bite. The best spices, choice cuts of meat, real smokehouses. That's how you build a winner. Usinger's famous sausage, America's finest. Here is Ethier. He walked his first time up. Pitch on the way. A swing and a miss. Fooling Ethier. Tried to check at the last second. 0-1.
Boy, nice slider. Dave Bush just threw it right in on the hands of Ethier.
Now Bush bends over from the waist. The sign from Zahn. He sets up way outside. And the 0-1. Curveball, strike 2. Exactly where Zahn was intending for that ball to be is where Bush put it. 0-2 the count. Paul at second, Kemp at first. 2 runs are in. 3-0 Dodgers. From the stretch. And the 0-2 pitch inside. Ball 1. THU bats from the left side. And the 1-2 pitch. A ground ball to first, fielder there. On 2 hops, he'll take it unassisted to the bag. And the inning is over. But the Dodgers get 2 unearned runs on 2 hits, a walk, and an error. And they leave 2. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's after 2. Our new score, Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing.
We follow the news, so you only need to follow us. Get the latest news as it happens on News Radio 620 WTMJ. Depend on it.
Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing. Top third here from Los Angeles. Dave Bush, Ricky Weeks, Jim Edmonds to bat against Dodgers right-hander John Eli. Bush, lifetime at the plate, hitting .130. Eli has thrown 27 pitches so far tonight as Bush looks high, ball 1. The Brewers tonight in their traveling blue jerseys. And the 1-0 strike called. Gray pants, that blue and gold piping down the side of the pant leg. Dodgers in their home whites. And the 1-1 pitch hit in the air, left center field in the gap. Kemp racing over, and the center fielder cuts in front of Paul to make the catch for 1 down.
Second baseman, number 23, Ricky Weeks.
3-0 Dodgers. Bases empty, 1 away here in the third. And here is Ricky Weeks. Well, tonight's contestant in the Lincoln Contractor Supply and Fabco Rents 3-bagger in the third contest is Chris Erm. E-R-M. Chris Erm from Appleton. And Chris, I'll explain how this works after Ricky Weeks takes a look at the first pitch from Eli. From the windup, here it comes, fastball strike. Yeah, Chris, if any Brewers player hits a triple in this third inning, you'll win a pair of round-trip airline tickets courtesy of Frontier Airlines. And the 0-1 to Weeks outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Folks, you can visit any Lincoln Contractor Supply and Fabco Rent store for details or enter online at jsosports.com. Chris Erm, tonight's contestant. A ground ball pulled foul into the Dodgers third base dugout. And it's 1-2. Ricky lined out sharply to left. Back in the first, he is 4 out of 11 in this series. And the 1-2 pitch, a ground ball to short on 2 hops. Carroll backhand sets, throws, 2 down. And the batter is Jim Edmonds. The Dodgers leading by 3 here in the third.
I kind of like what Ricky was doing. He really was taking his time, stepping out. John Eli has very good tempo, likes to work very quick. He's trying to disrupt that tempo.
Edmonds struck out on 3 pitches. Back in the first, he takes down low. Ball 1. You always like to see that, Davey. You know, when the pitcher has a good rhythm going, he seems to be in sync with his catcher. Step out, take some extra time. 1-0 pulled foul.
That's right, and it really just throws his tempo off and might get him to just get frustrated and hang a few pitches.
Base is empty, 2 down, 3-0 Dodgers here in the third. And the 1-1 pitch, ball 2 to Edmonds. Now, speaking of the Dodgers uniforms, they have not changed at all over the years.
No, they haven't. Ever since I was a kid going to Dodger games at the Coliseum.
2-1 down low, ball 3.
But when the Dodgers first moved from Brooklyn, they played at the Coliseum, and
it was 1958, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the name, sure.
Yeah, they got him from the Cardinals, and they used to call the moonshots because he would hit balls into out of the park in left field. It was a short 296 with a little high fence.
Edmonds strikes out on a changeup from Eli. Second strikeout. Check that third strikeout. And Eli has a 1-2-3 third inning. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's. We played 2 1/2. The Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing.
Radio 620 WTMJ Time Saver Traffic with Andy Miller gets you there faster. Traffic on the 10s during Wisconsin's morning news and the greenhouse.
Davey and I talking about the history of Dodgers baseball and Dodger Stadium. The old Coliseum was home to the Dodgers for the first 4 years, 58, 59, 60, and 61. The opening day for Dodger Stadium was April 10th, 1962, when the Dodgers hosted a small gathering of 52,564 fans. And they have been here at Dodger Stadium in Chavez Ravine ever since. James Loney takes a ball, 3-0 LA, bottom 3. The leg kick and the 1-0 pitch hit in the air to left. Ryan Braun going back. Has room, makes the catch, and there's one down. Loney retired, bases empty, 1 down. Dodgers lead by 3, and the batter is Casey Blake. It's one of my favorite parks, Davey, to come to. You know, I love history. I love the history of this sport. And what's unique about, from a broadcaster's point of view, as Casey Blake takes high ball 1, when you leave the park, when you get on the bus going, whether it's back to the hotel or tonight going to the airport, you meet the bus beyond the wall in center field. The 1-0 pitch is inside ball 2, so you can walk from the visiting dugout on the outfield grass beyond the center field wall to leave the park, and you get to set foot on this playing surface where so many of the game's greats have played. The 2-0 is a strike. That gets me every time.
No, I don't blame you, because it got to me my rookie year playing at Yankee Stadium and walking on the field and walking way out where the monuments are.
2-1 pitch is popped up, shallow left. Escobar going out. Does he have room in foul ground? Escobar reaches and has no play. That ball maybe bounced a row, maybe 2 rows back. Escobar made a lunging attempt over that sidewall, but had no play. 2-2.
But I used to walk out there because, you know, as a kid growing up, you always hear about the Yankees and everything, and to be able to walk, there were Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth. Oh, and then I had an opportunity to play against Mickey Mantle.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases empty, 1 down as Blake strikes out. 2 down here in the third. Blake is 0 for 2. And here is Russell Martin. Played against the Mick, huh?
Yeah, my rookie year was his last year. He was playing first base. And I have this cute story, boy. You know, they moved him from center field to first base because of his knees. And, I mean, he could run, but not anymore. And I was a young kid.
As Russell Martin steps in, checks and takes a strike. Go ahead.
And I pushed by the ball between the pitcher and Mickey at first base. And I beat it out. And as I'm walking back to first base, our first base coach, Johnny Lippon, says, Dave, we don't bunt on Mick out of respect.
The 0-1 wrapped to third, glove by McGee. Sets, throws, inning over. We'll continue with Mickey Mantle when we come back. Dave Bush, a solid third inning. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's after 3. Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing.
Whether you snag a foul ball or get a player's autograph, life offers fans so many great moments. Marshfield Clinic believes you deserve the best health care, so you can enjoy every one of them. Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live.
Cable, triple play bundle, TV, phone, and internet.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Hey fans, catch a minor league game at Miller Park on Friday, May 7th. The Timber Rattlers versus the Cedar Rapids Colonels. Visit Brewers.com for $10 tickets. sponsored by Cops and Pick and Save.
3 complete here at Dodger Stadium. LA leads by a score of 3-0. Dodgers getting a run to the first on a James Loney sac fly. Then Jamie Carroll scored on a throwing, I should say, an error committed by Prince Fielder. That allowed the second run, and then Xavier Paul, a 2-out RBI double down the right field line, scored Eli. Dodgers have led 3-0 since the second. It remains that way here in the fourth. Let's see how the Brewers do against Eli here in the fourth inning. Braun, Fielder, and McGee. All right, big bats coming up. And Davey, we were talking during the last half inning about you played against Mickey Mantle in his final year, and you bunted on the Mick, huh?
Yeah, he was so revered by everybody that they didn't take advantage of him like that, and I didn't know it, And after I bunted the ball around, walking back to first base, and Johnny Lippon said, Dave, we don't bunt on Mickey out of respect. So now I'm standing at first base, and I see Mick, and I'll say after this pitch,
as Ryan Braun takes a strike, David.
And I'm standing there and I see Mickey Mantle. Wasn't a real tall guy, but he had arms on him like tree trunks. And he pats me on the behind and says, "Nice bunt, Rook." And I said, "Thank you, Mr. Mantle."
And the 0-1 pitch, fastball outside ball, and he called him Mr. Mantle.
Oh, yes. And then later in the game, he hits a bullet, and I dove and caught it and threw him out. And he yells at me, "Hey, Rook, give me a break."
And the 1-1 pitch, strike 2 called. The Braun 3-0 Dodgers here in the fourth. Well, Bob tells so many great stories about Mickey Mantle. Of course, the '64 World Series. Bob was a member of the champion Cardinals. They beat the Yankees in the '64 Fall Classic. The 1-2, Braun strikes out. Change of pace from Eli. That's his 4th strikeout, 1 away here in the 4th inning. But he tells a great story from, and I forgot which game it was, but Mike Shannon was the Cardinals' right fielder, and Mickey Mantle hit a towering home run to right, yet Mike Shannon went back in the ball. He kind of crept on back up against the wall as Prince Fielder takes inside ball 1. And from his path to the wall, everybody in the dugout thought, all right, Shannon's got a chance. They called him Moon. They said, Moon's got a chance. He can maybe make a play on this. The ball landed up in the rafters. Fielder had a monster cut, and he missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. But the way that you describes it is, they gave Shannon a lot of heat because the way he reacted, oh, yeah, I got a chance. He had no chance. It was long gone to right. And the 1-1 pitch, off speed, inside ball 2.
It seems right now like young John Eli is gone to more breaking balls and changeups.
The leg kick and the 2-1 pitch, fastball strike on the inside corner. He struck out. Prince looking back in the first. There's 4 strikeouts so far tonight. And deals 2-2. A swing and a pop-up. Shallow left. The shortstop Carroll going out. He calls off Paul. He's got it. We're on number 2.
Well, this young man, Eli, he's came right back with a nice little changeup that got Prince to pop up. But he's really mixing up, spotting his fastball, but throwing more changeups and breaking balls.
Here is McGee. Dodgers lead by 3 in the fourth. Bases empty, but now 2 away. Leg kick and the pitch to McGee is high ball 1. Mantle's final year, 68?
68.
Yes. Did you have him sign anything for you? The 1-0 pitch fouled back.
Well, later I did. Of course, when I was playing for the Texas Rangers, Billy Martin was our manager, and Mickey lived in Dallas. So he would come out to our ball games, our practices, and because he and Billy were great friends.
Now the 1-1 pitch, line to shallow right, coming on Ethier. He's going to get there to make the catch above his right shoulder. And Eli, a 1-2-3 fourth. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's after 3 1/2. Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing. Or go to bankmutual.com. Bank Mutual. Trust the feeling.
One that always hangs right in there. Got the good throw. He hung in there and almost got taken out, but boy, he's got such a strong arm and made a nice throw to Prince.
2 down for the pitcher Eli. He reached on an error, and he takes a strike. 23rd double play ball turned by the Crew. The leg kick and the 0-1. Missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brewers in this series have played good defense. That error in the second, the first of the series. 1-1, strike 2.
You know, if Prince had to do that all over again, he'd make that play. He'd catch that ball.
He's not going to let that one play get to him. He's going to have many more chances tonight. The 1-2 pitch. Eli strikes out swinging. And the inning is over. Big double play. A key part of this Dodgers 4th. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's. After 4, Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing.
Contractor Supply and Fabco Rents, the CAD rental store.
The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball. That's been a good pitch from Eli tonight. His change has been effective. And a breaking ball there. He is ahead of Zahn 1-2. Hard due up next. 3-0 Dodgers in the 5th. The pitch. Check swing. He went around. Strike 3. That was the fastball. Zahn still at home plate. Kind of a puzzling look. And home plate umpire Tim Timmons. But now Greg spins and walks briskly back to the first base dugout. 1 away.
I tell you, John Eli is mixing them up pretty good. And he's breaking ball, and then busted Zahn inside with a fastball.
5 strikeouts. He has surpassed his strikeout total from his first start. Struck out 4 in New York. On April 28th, he missed outside to hardball 1. And 1-0 pitch, strike called. I mentioned at the top that Joe Torre had some options. It could have been Eli tonight. It could have been Carlos Monasterios or Charlie Hager. And the 1-1 upstairs, ball 2. I asked Charlie Steiner, Dodgers broadcaster, why Eli? And he gave me such a great answer. I said, why Eli tonight, Charlie? The 2-1 pitch tapped fair in front of the plate. The pitcher Eli to it, throws to first for out number 2. Yeah, but Davey, Charlie said, again, I asked him, I said, why Eli? Why not Monasterios? Why not Hager? And he said 2 words. I said, really? I'm looking at him. I want to learn. He said, just because. Thanks, Charlie. That was big help there.
Yeah, just because, huh?
But Hager's, we saw Hager back on Tuesday. He threw 4 innings of 1-run relief, and he's going to start on Saturday. And the Dodgers stay here, host the Rockies. The Rockies are in town already. They're off tonight. Escobar takes down low, ball 1. 3-0 Dodgers here in the 5th. 2 down, bases empty.
Well, whatever the reason, just because.
And the 1-0 upstairs.
I think it was a good decision so far.
He's been good. He has been very good. We've seen his whole arsenal. He works off the first base side of the rubber. From the windup, deals 2-0. Escobar drives one to left in the corner. Paul over, runs it down, makes a sliding catch. Wow. Feet first, sliding grab, robbing Escobar in the left field corner. A fine defensive effort from Paul ends the inning. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's. We head to the bottom of the 5th in LA. Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing.
Bruce Fremming here, former
pitch, a ground ball to first fielder. He'll take this one unassisted, 1 away.
Well, it just goes to show you what speed can do. It can offensively and defensively. Speed can be a big advantage.
Base is empty, 1 down, 3-0 Dodgers here in the 5th. And the batter is Matt Kemp. 0 for 1 tonight with a walk. Let's take a look at some scores on our Bank Mutual scoreboard. A bunch of finals in. The Cardinals lost in Philadelphia. The Phillies winning 7-2. A swing and a miss to Kemp. Roy Halladay. And Davey, I was one of those guys, and you know, Halladay is outstanding, but when they made that trade and they got rid of Cliff Lee, I was thinking, why? I mean, Cliff Lee was terrific last year. The 0-1 strike 2 on a high fastball. But Halladay has been dominant. 6-1, struck out 9, ERA of 1.45 so far this year.
That's outstanding. What a great deal. And you know, Cliff Lee, like you say, was outstanding for the Phillies.
And the 0-2 pitch, strike 3 called. So Kemp retired on 3 pitches. Quickly 2 down here in the 5th. Brewers trail 3-0, and the batter is Andre Ethier. And Cliff Lee began the year on the disabled list. He just had, I want to say he's made 2 starts. He had a very good outing his last time out.
Right, and you know, the thing there is that I didn't think Philadelphia could really have trade for Halladay and keep a pitcher like Lee they had with the salaries.
They also got rid of one of their top prospects, Doug Drabeck's son. And the pitch, a swing and a foul back. Is his name Kyle?
Yes.
But he was very high in the Phillies system, one of their top prospects, if not their top prospect, but he was part of that deal. And the Phillies won that game 7-2. Jason Worth, who will be a free agent after this year, hit his 5th home run. I like that guy a lot. Jason Worth. The 0-1 pitch pulled foul. And it's 0-2. Just signed Ryan Howard to that monster deal. Victorino and Utley are signed for another year or 2. But I have to wait and see, because Jason Worth, he's going to be one of the top free agents when you talk about position players this offseason.
Well, he certainly will be, and the thing there is this guy, there's nothing fancy about him. He's just very steady, plays an above average left field.
And the 0-2 pitch, Ethier checks, and he took down low. That's ball 1, no swing, says third base umpire Alfonso Marquez. Dugout. Lastings Millage drove in 4 runs. Garrett Jones drove in 3. As the Pirates win their 13th game of the year. The 2-2 pitch, a line drive up the middle, base hit center field. And you can see Dave Bush visibly upset with himself. He took his right hand and hit the infield grass and then just kicked the mound with his right foot. That was a pitch he wanted back as soon as it left his right hand.
Oh, it was a breaking ball that really did not break like he wanted to and stayed right out over the middle of the plate. But, you know, in defense of all that, I thought he had him struck out the pitch before.
So this Dodgers 5th continues with Ethier at first and 2 down for James Loney. 0 for 1 with a sac fly. Drove in his 19th run back in the 1st. And the sac fly to center. The kick and the pitch is a strike. Dave Bush threw 50 pitches early on. He was 50 pitches in, Davey, around maybe the 3rd inning. But he has settled in nicely. He's been very economical and efficient the last couple innings. Dodgers lead by 3. 2 outs here in the 5th. And the 0-1, a swing and a miss. Change of pace, 0-2. Normally they post the pitch count on the electronic scoreboard at the base of the left field wall. And since the Brewers have won the first 2 of this series, they're trying to change their mojo and change some things around, so they're hiding that tonight. Good thing Kent is keeping track. Oh, Kent, he has thrown more than 15 pitches. 0-2, strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Third strikeout for Bush. The Dodgers don't score, get a hit, leave one. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's after 5. Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing.
The best way to keep your insurance costs
and lottery.
Your news and information station. News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is brought to you in part by ice-cold, great-tasting Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed for that great Pilsner taste. Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. That's going to be all for David Bush as Joe Inglet is going to pinch hit to begin the top of the 6th. So the line for Bush, he threw 95 pitches. 5 innings, 3 runs, 1 earned. And 4 hits. He walked 3, struck out 3. Let's see if the Brewers can get to Eli here in the 6th. Down by 3, Inglet on to pinch hit. Inglet 4 out of 13 as a pinch hitter this year with a couple of triples. He takes high ball 1. Talked about that with Ken Mockadavy on our Jockey pregame show tonight. He's been quite pleased. There's the 1-0 pitch. Inglet taps foul. And it's 1-1 with overall how the players on the bench, whether it's been Inglet, Counsell last night, Edmonds, Corey Hart, and the guys step in the box and need that, and the team needs that big pinch hit. The guys have responded so far this year. 1-1 high, ball 2.
Well, I think what Ken Maka has done very well this year is get a lot of action for his bench. Craig Counsell, Inglet.
Inglet pulls foul up along first. Davey, go ahead.
You know, Jody Garrett. That's one of the things, you know, Whitey Herzog always told me. He said, I would always try to keep my bench players sharp because sooner or later you're going to need them. One of your starters might go down.
And the 2-2. Inglet strikes out swinging. Another change. And again, that's been such an effective pitch for Eli, specifically against left-handed hitting tonight.
Well, and you know, he's done a great job, Corey. And now, for me, let's see, it's going to be the 3rd time around for the top of the order coming up. So see what type of adjustment they might make to Eli.
Eli has thrown 68 pitches. He has 6 strikeouts. And speaking of strikeouts, I shortchanged Bush. He had 4 Ks tonight, not 3. Ricky in the box. He is 0 for 2. He's lined out and bounced out to short. The kick and the pitch. Weeks takes high ball 1. Folks, the home run inning is back. Dodge and Ram truck dealers are the new sponsors of the Dodge home run inning during the 6th inning all year long. And 1-0 pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. You can listen for details on how you can win cash if the Brew Crew homers in the 6th or a new Dodge vehicle at the end of the season just by having your name selected as a contestant. 1-1 off speed, missed inside. That was a changeup, 2-1. Base is empty, 1 down, 3-0 Dodgers. And the 2-1 pitch, a line drive past the mound, but right to Carroll. I should say DeWitt, the second baseman, makes the play for out number 2. Sharply hit ball, but I tell you, DeWitt was positioned perfectly, was playing Ricky up the middle, did not have to move a step, and was able to make that play easily for out number 2.
Oh, that's what you call good scouting report, and the way they defense these players. And as you mentioned, it's right at him.
2 down for Edmonds, who has struck out twice as he takes a strike. The Brewers have not had a base runner since Casey McGee's single back in the 2nd. It's ball 1 outside. That's 14 straight sat down by Eli. And the 1-1 pitch missed the outside corner, ball 2. Couple of hits for the Crew tonight. Braun in the 1st, he's singled. And McGee singled to right center in the second. 2-1. All three outside to Edmonds. Only down by 3, though. The 3-1 pitch hit in the air, foul, slicing out of play down the left field side. 3-2. Looks like Claudio Vargas set to go in the bullpen beyond the wall and right. He might be on to pitch the 6th. 3-2 pitch. Edmonds swings and fouls it back.
I was talking to Jim Edmonds today, and with him back in the lineup 2 days in a row, and asked him how he's feeling, and he said, I'm feeling okay, but a little bit of he hurt beside his back, his tailbone, and said that bothers him a little bit, and sometimes it takes him a while to get loose.
And the 3-2 pitch popped up foul right above our heads, and landing out of play. Davey Nelson, the old infielder, had his hands up. He was ready.
I was ready, but
this reporter was underneath the desk.
No, you're smart.
Yeah. You taught me well. Get out of the way. The 3-2 pitch. Edmonds strikes out swinging. 7 punch outs for Eli. 1-2-3 6th inning. That is 15 straight sat down by the rookie right-hander. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's. After 5 1/2, it remains Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing.
More than 25 years ago, serving
.com. No matter what, no matter when news breaks, Wisconsin depends on News Radio 620 WTMJ.
New pitcher for the Crew here in the bottom of the 6th inning is right-hander Claudio Vargas, who is on for the 11th time this year. And his ERA is dropping down. He's now at above 6, but he has looked much, much better the last couple times out. And the zip in his fastball seems to be back. As he steps on the mound to face Casey Blake to lead off the Dodgers 6th, and a fastball strike that was 92.
And it had some movement on it, and as you mentioned, it's a lot more. When we say he's got life on his fastball, it's just straight. He's got some movement.
Now the home run ball, Davey, hurt Claudio in his first couple outings. Leg kick and the 0-1 missed outside, came right back with the heat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to be careful with Blake. He's got home run power. 3-1 pitch outside, ball 4, leadoff walk to Blake here in the Dodgers 6th. Let's take a look at tonight's injury report, sponsored by Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital. The Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital is the premier destination for orthopedic care in the Midwest. And for more information, visit mymosh.com, mymosh.com. Some news on Carlos Gomez, in case you missed our jockey pregame show tonight. Carlos is day to day with really a couple of injuries. As Martin, the catcher, steps in. The runner goes, big jump, a swing and a foul back. And it's 0-1. Yeah, Gomez injured himself late last night. He was caught in a rundown between second and third, but used that great speed to get back to second, and he kept that long, I want to say 5-run 8th inning alive with that great speed, but he did injure his wrist, his left wrist and his left shoulder on the play, and he is going to get some tests done tomorrow in Arizona, and we should have more on his status during our broadcast tomorrow night. And the 0-1 pitch down low, 1 ball, 1 strike to Martin, 3-0 Dodgers.
Well, Claudio Vargas is throwing the ball pretty good, but he's just missing, so he's got to make an adjustment and start getting the ball up a little bit.
Martin 0 for 2, 2 out of 10 in the series. His batting average below 250, hitting 244 right now. That's right where he was last year, around 250, 255. And the 1-1 pitch, slider outside, ball 2. I check in with our good friend Mark DeFelice over the weekend. He was sharing some text messages with Mark recently. And we'll see if he's going to be out and taking in some of the action this weekend in Arizona. DeFelice, who injured his shoulder late last year, had surgery. And when I spoke with him, Davey, back during the spring, he's hoping for what Chris Capuano did last year, a check-in. Sliding back in is Blake. Capuano, did not return to the big leagues last year. He's still in the minor leagues now, but at least he got back out there throwing in a game. It was a minor league game, but he got back out there, was in game action late in the year. And that's what Mark DeFelice is hoping for this year. Signed a minor league contract in the offseason. And we'll check in with Deefer over the weekend and see what's new and how his rehab is coming along.
Yeah, and what a good field story it was last year with Mark. And boy, the guy, you talk about perseverance and determination, and did a wonderful job until he injured his shoulder.
Now, we talked about Jamie Carroll and how long he stuck it out. How about Mark DeFelice? And the 2-1 pitch, runner goes, a ground ball, base hit to right, perfect hit and run. Blake to third, single for Martin. They're at the corners, nobody out in the 6th inning. That's exactly how you draw it up when you talk about hit and run execution.
And a good piece of hitting by Russell Martin. The fastball was in. He did a little inside-out swing and drove it in the hole between first and second. And boy, that is really textbook, as you mentioned, Corey.
But Mark DeFelice, Davey, he was with the Brewers at the tail end of 2008. And that's when he made his major league debut. But I want to say he was 32 years old in 2009 when he made his first opening day roster.
Yeah.
32 years old.
32, boy. They could have made a movie about that.
And Stan Kiles deserves a lot of credit for convincing the Brewers to give, DeFelice a chance. He saw Mark pitch, I want to say, in independent ball, and liked what he saw. And DeFelice, you go back to 2009, the first half of the season, the Brewers were in first place for a long time. And that bullpen with Stetter and DeFelice, of course, Hoffman and Coffey, was a big reason why the Brewers played so well the first half of 2009. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Blake DeWitt takes a strike. Vargas in a jam here in the 6th. Dodgers lead by 3. And nobody out as Zahn is going out to pick the brain of Vargas. They talk in between home plate and the mound on the beautifully manicured infield grass here at Dodger Stadium.
Just to finish up about Mark DeFelice, the character he had, but he had one pitch. He had that cutter, and he wasn't, his fastball wasn't going to knock you out, but that's what he lived and died on his cutter, and had an outstanding cutter.
0-1 the count. The Brewers will concede the run at third and try to get 2. Double play depth. Escobar and Weeks up the middle. And the 0-1 pitch. That's low, blocked by Zahn. He's been active tonight. And the count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike to Blake DeWitt. We'll send along the station break here in a moment. Dodgers, their success tonight has really come from the bottom part of their order. DeWitt a single. Jamie Carroll has scored a run. He's doubled. John Eli has scored a run. Bluff to third. A look back to first. No throw. Now, people always boo, but That will work once in a while.
It certainly will, and you can catch a runner napping, and everybody says, "Oh, why does he do it?" But yeah, as soon as you say it, boy, guy gets picked off.
Happened during a spring training game. Chris Smith was pitching in Scottsdale against the Giants, and he got Buster Posey at first base on that exact play. And the 1-1 pitch. Ball 2 down low to DeWitt.
Well, I think it happened this year with LaTroy Hawkins on the mound.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. Blake at third, Martin at first, nobody out in the 6th. Dodgers lead by 3. Boy, no wind to speak of right now. Flags beyond the wall in center. All the glory on the California state flag not moving at all. From the stretch, here's the 2-1. Upstairs, ball 3.
Claudio Vargas right now is having trouble finding the strike zone. I think here with the 3-1 count, this is a dangerous pitch. He's got to really make a good pitch here.
No homers, but 8 RBIs for DeWitt. And there's the Dodgers second baseman. They did not re-sign Orlando Hudson this year. He's now playing in Minnesota. And now Zahn again is going out, and while they talk, Zahn and Vargas, 10 seconds for station ID on the Brewers Radio Network.
This is your news, weather, and traffic station, and the home of the Packers, Brewers, Badgers, and Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Corey Provis, Davey Nelson, Kent Sommerfeld. Bottom 6. Game 3, final game of this series, game number 7 of this 10-game West Coast swing. Dodgers lead by 3-0, and threatening to add a few more in the 6th inning. Runners at the corners, nobody out. The 3-1 pitch, ball 4. Second walk of the inning, and they're loaded for Jamie Carroll. Dodgers shortstop is 1 for 2. I mentioned that double. He's also hit into a 6-4-3 double play. This is the only National League game in progress. Everything else has gone final. Leg kick and the pitch on the way inside, ball 1. And Vargas has just been behind this whole 6th inning.
Well, he certainly has, and he needs to make an adjustment. I know he's trying to keep the ball down to entice a ground ball, but he's got to be able to pitch ahead in the count.
Blake at third, Martin at second, DeWitt at first, nobody out. And the 1-0 pitch, a ground ball, tap foul back behind the plate. And it's 1-1. Giants beat the Marlins on our Bank Mutual scoreboard 6-3. Arizona got a 6-3 win in Houston. The Astros lost again.
Boy, they are struggling.
One ball, one strike, the count to Carroll. The leg kick, the pitch, line foul above the first base dugout, landing in the second deck. Astros now 9-19. They've only won 2 of their last 11 games. Tough start for first-year skipper Brad Mills. The Brewers will not go to Houston for a while. Not until, I want to say, August is when the Brewers will make their first trip down to Minute Maid Park as Vargas steps off. Now remember last year, this was a riot. The Brewers played the Astros 9 times before Houston came to Miller Park. That was last year. The 1-2 pitch low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's late July. That's July 30th, 31st, August 1 is the first trip down to Minute Maid Park. Here it's 3-0 Dodgers in the 6th. Bases loaded, nobody out. Zahn sets up outside, the 2-2 pitch. Pop foul, first base side. And that goes out of play.
It's amazing how the schedule works sometimes. I remember last year, the Brewers made 2 trips to Wrigley Field before the Cubs ever came to Miller Park.
Yeah, 2 4-game series. Yeah, this year the Brewers only go back to Wrigley one more time for 3. 15 games, 9 of which will be played at Miller Park. We've already had the Cubs at home once. Again, the 2-2. A ground ball to third. Glove by McGee. Sets, goes home for 1. Zahn will not throw to first. So out at home is Casey Blake. So McGee made a good throw home, and Zahn thought about trying to get Carroll at first, but decided against the throw. So the Brewers do get the lead man. No runs scored, 1 out. They remain loaded. The pitcher, Eli.
That was a good pitch by Vargas, and got the ball with a little movement in on Carroll and got to entice the ground ball, and that's what he needed to do.
Again, Zahn and Vargas meet as Eli is the batter. Well, McGee is playing in. Is a squeeze an option here?
Well, it's always an option with less than 2 outs, but it's an easy force at home plate.
Vargas still from the stretch. Eli did not show bunt. Swings and taps foul. Near the on-deck circle, 0-1. Jeff Suppan, who finished off the Dodgers last night, and is up and throwing in the bullpen. It's getting late, but only down by 3. 3-0 LA. But the Brewers have not had a base runner since the 2nd inning. John Eli, who's at the plate right now, has sat down the last 15 batters. 0-1 the count. 1 away in the 6th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. And Vargas thinking strikeout right now. Now the pitcher up there is 0 for 2 tonight. 0 for 4 at the plate this year. His feet kind of moving around in the box as he took a swing at that one.
Yeah, Claudio didn't mess around there. Good fastball. Probably come right back with it. You don't want to speed his bat up with throwing him a hanging breaking ball.
Leg kick and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him as it popped away from Zahn momentarily. That's exactly what Vargas needed right there. A strikeout of Eli, 2 down, and he's 1 out away from working out of this 6th inning.
Oh, good pitch. Wasn't a hanging breaking ball. Good breaking ball down and away out of the strike zone.
And here is Xavier Paul, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI, a walk, a run scored, a double. He's made the most out of his first start of this series. Reed Johnson was hitless, and Paul in there tonight. And he scored the game's first run. Vargas set the kick and the pitch. Strike call.
You know, Corey, it seems like, you know, some managers with the bases loaded, 1 out, and you have the pitcher coming up with pinch hit and try to break the game wide open. But John Eli is doing a very good job. And they have a guy on the bench, Garrett Anderson, a left-handed hitter, but Eli is doing a great job pitching-wise.
Now the 0-1, outside ball one. Also, keep in mind the Dodgers, they have used a lot of arms in their bullpen in this series, and they have another series coming up. No off day with the Rockies in town beginning tomorrow night. And Eli with 7 strikeouts. I mentioned the 15 straight retired. The Dodgers bullpen a little shaky right now.
Yeah,
as you mentioned last night, Broxton only 1 save. All right, Vargas back to work. 1 ball, 1 strike to Paul. The kick and the pitch outside ball 2. This is one of those chances, and we talk about momentum a lot in this game. If Vargas can get out of this inning without a run being scored, the Brewers have the momentum right back. Dodgers had the bases loaded, nobody out. Fielder's choice, and then a strikeout. And they're 2 away. And the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, off-speed slider. 2-2.
By throwing that pitch right there, it makes it 2-2. Now it really sets up the pitch he's going to try to get him out on right here, because he doesn't want to go 3-2, and he has an option to either try to come fastball in or come back with a breaking ball. I think he'll try to throw a changeup here.
Zahn sending signs. Vargas a long look in. And now he steps off. Now Vargas, right foot, back on the rubber. Paul back in the box. He bats from the left side. Now he's ready. The kick and the 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging, popping away from Zahn. He picks it up, fires to first, and the inning is over. What a job by Vargas. The Dodgers had the bases loaded, nobody out, but leave with nothing. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's After 6. Need some offense. Dodgers 3, Brewers nothing.
Set off.
Save big money at Menards.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
The Dodgers still lead 3-0, but Claudio Vargas worked out of a huge jam in the bottom half of the 6th. Leadoff walk to Blake. Martin singled, pushing Blake to third. Vargas then walked DeWitt, so the Dodgers had the bases loaded, nobody out. But then Jamie Carroll, a fielder's choice, as McGee came home with the throw to get Blake. Carroll reaching at first. But there was 1 away. Then Vargas came back, struck out Eli. And then Xavier Paul struck out. And the deficit remains at 3 here in the 7th. All right, big bats coming up. Braun fielder McGee, let's get going. Against right-hander John Eli. Sat down his last 15, 7 strikeouts. He's given up only 2 hits. And Braun had 1 of them. He's single to left back in the 1st inning. Let's take a look at our U.S. Cellular text the booth. Text of the ball game coming up. As Braun steps in, the pitch missed outside ball 1. A nice text here from area code 408. A Brewers fan listening in San Jose, California. Light kick and the 1-0. Ball 2 to Braun. This fan writes, live in San Jose, but I tune in every single day, listening on my iPhone. Thank you. Thank you for the iPhone. And the 2-0 pitch. Braun checks and takes a strike. But, David, this one we talked about the other night. This is from Sam in Sheboygan Falls. We were talking about base running the other night and why it's so important. And we see it all the time. Here's the 2-1 to Braun, a swing and a foul back off the hands, 2-2. And Sam was wondering why base runners should not slide headfirst to the first base bag.
Oh, yes. The reason you shouldn't, number one, it doesn't get you there faster. You should run through the base.
And the 2-2 pitch. Braun reaches and pokes foul, first base side.
Plus, you're so susceptible for injury. Diving head first, you can break a finger, shoulder. I remember in the playoffs with Kenny Lofton, we have a chance to go to the World Series, and he dove head first into first base and tore his shoulder up.
The pitch, another foul. Happened to Niger Morgan, too, not stealing first, or I'm sorry, sliding into first, head first, but he was, I want to say, either second or maybe third when he was with the Pirates in 2008. His season was over in the second half of the season, maybe by August, because he jammed his wrist or broke his hand or a finger. The 2-2 pitch, a ground ball to short, two-hopper to Carroll. The shortstop fires across, one down here in the seventh inning.
Now, there are times when you can slide to avoid a tag or a collision, but try to beat out a ground ball. It's easier to run straight through the base.
Here's Prince, 3-0 Dodgers in the seventh. Bases empty, one down. Breaking ball strike. John Eli at 88 pitches. Looks like that Dodgers pen is quiet in the left field corner. And the 0-1 in the dirt, ball one. And the 1-1 pitch inside the fielder, ball two. We thank you for your text questions. U.S. Cellular text the booth, text of the ball game. Suppan warming up in the pen. And the 2-1 fielder, ground ball right side, off the glove of the first baseman Loney, and trickling into right field for a hit. That ball was smoked in the hole on the right side. Loney, the first baseman, made a diving attempt to his right. He got a glove on it, and then Blake DeWitt was backing up on the play. And Davey, I'm not sure, but perhaps the trajectory maybe changed once the ball hit the glove of Loney, and that kind of moved the ball out of the area in which DeWitt was there backing up. He wanted to make a play, but again, the ball kind of kicked wide and rolled into right field for a hit.
His momentum was taken. Momentum was taking him the other way.
As McGee bangs foul.
And it did go right off of Loney's glove and carry him a different direction. I tell you, if Loney doesn't deflect that ball, DeWitt can make that play and throw it to the pitcher covering.
First hit for Prince. First hit for the Brewers since the second. And the 0-1 to McGee. This is a strike. Let's see if Casey can go deep and get the Brewers right back in this game. Only down by 3, but it is getting late. We're in the seventh. That ends a streak of 16 in a row sent down by Eli. And the 0-2 pitch outside, ball one. McGee with 23 RBIs. His teammate Ryan Braun with 24. 47 combined. Third most in baseball. RBIs combined. Two players in the same team. A ground ball that is fouled. Just fouled on the first base line. Boy, crew chief Tim Sheeta was straddling that first base line behind the bag. And that ball was just foul down the right field side.
Oh, so close.
3-0 Dodgers here in the seventh inning. Fielder at first, one down. And the 1-2 pitch, a ground ball past the mound toward short. Charging is Carroll, the pick, the throw. And there is out number 2 with Fielder advancing down to second on the play. So it's up to Zahn, who was flied out and struck out. Yeah, but Braun and McGee, those 47 RBIs, again ranked third among major league teammates. 57 combined RBIs. Only Miguel Cabrera and Maglier Ordonez with the Tigers. They have 50. And then Mark Reynolds and Chris Young of Arizona have more. Those guys have combined for 48. Zahn takes inside ball one. We'll see those two beginning tomorrow night. To begin the year. In the box, again the 2-2 pitch. A ground ball foul again off the end of the bat, this time third base side. That was a breaking ball from Eli.
That was that slow curveball. It was about 70 miles an hour, but took a lot off of it.
This will be the 10th pitch of this at bat. Fielder at second base, 2 down, 3-0 Dodgers. Here in the 7th inning. Zahn 0 for 2 tonight. The 2-2 again fouled off. This one rattling around inside the Brewers dugout.
Well, this is a good battle between the two, and everybody's saying, come on, Zahn, win this battle.
Eli bends over at the waist. The sign from Martin. The 2-2 pitch, ball 3 high. I see somebody throwing in the Dodgers pen in the left field corner. And again, you cannot make out a name or number from our broadcast position. And the 3-2. Zahn, a line drive, right center, base hit. Fielder rounding third. He will score. RBI single, Greg Zahn, and the Brewers are on the board. Now trailing 3-1 here in the 7th inning.
Well, Zahn certainly won that battle, boy. It was outstanding at bat. He fought off some tough pitches and drove in the run.
Well, Joe Torre on his way out. A lengthy at bat. Zahn wins out. RBI single. Fielder scored from second. That's all for Eli. He'll get a nice hand here at Dodger Stadium. His first home start, second big league start. And his evening is over. The U.S. Cellular call to the bullpen has been made. U.S. Cellular, the exclusive wireless provider of the Brewers. Well, the Brewers are making some noise here in the 7th. They have a run in, a runner on, and a tying run at the plate in Corey Hart. We'll come back and tell you about the new Dodgers chucker when we come back. Dodgers 3. Belisario last night, he worked the 7th inning and part of the 8th. An inning and a third, exactly gave up 3 runs on 3 walks and 1 hit. Let's see if the Brewers can rally against the right-hander, down by 2. Zahn at first and Hart at the plate. The kick and the pitch. Fastball strike. John Eli departs 6 2/3. Right now he's given up a run, although he is responsible for Zahn at first on 4 hits, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. Dodgers fans upset, but that was clearly outside. Zahn at second, 2 down. And the 3-2 pitch. Hart strikes out. That was a fastball. Hart swung right through it, and the inning is over. But the Brewers get on the board. They get a run on 2 hits, leave 1. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's as we stretch at Dodger Stadium. And our new score, Dodgers 3, Brewers 1.
Each per month when you bundle. Price guaranteed until 2012. Call now.
Now the Brewers got a run. And Jeff Suppan, he's on to work, making his second appearance of the series. Soup was in there last night. He ended the game with a scoreless 9th. And trying to keep his deficit right now at 2, and he will face Kemp, Ethier, and Loney. Matters 2, 3, and 4 here in the Dodgers 7th. It's a double switch. So Jody Garrett is now in the game. Garrett is in right. So the pitcher spot is no longer hitting ninth. He's now hitting seventh. So Garrett will bat second in the 8th inning.
You know, it just goes to show you how important that 6th inning was with Vargas getting out of that jam.
And down by only 2. And the batter is Matt Kemp. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. The pitch from Suppan is low, ball 1. Suppan is a home here in Southern California, as his restaurant, as we discussed last night. One ball, no strikes to Matt Kemp. And the pitch, strike call. It's an official line now for Eli. 6 2/3, 1 run, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, and no walks. And the 1-1 off speed inside ball 2. I think Charlie Steiner, if I asked him again why you go with Eli, well, just because he doesn't walk anybody is what he would add this time.
Yes, that's exactly right. What a nice job the young man did.
Zahn sets up outside. The 2-1 to Kemp. Check, swing, strike. 2-2. Mentioned the comments that Ned Colletti, the GM of the Dodgers, made last week, maybe 10 days ago, about Matt Kemp. He has not been pleased with Kemp's play in center. Talked about his defense a lot. The leg kick, the 2-2 pitch, just missed, low, ball 3. He's only made 1 error in center. He's hitting roughly 300, but he was the one guy that Colletti singled out. From the stretch, Suppan's 3-2, fouled back.
Well, that's interesting that knowing Ned Colletti that he would single a player out like that. But, there's players that you can single out that it doesn't affect them. But Matt Kemp certainly, is having himself a pretty decent year so far.
7 homers and 20 RBIs. And the 3-2 pitch, struck out swinging. Good slider from Suppan, 81 miles per hour. And there's one down here in the 7th for Andre Ethier. Second time Kemp has struck out tonight.
So far, Sup has done a pretty good job coming out of the bullpen. He's made some good adjustments. It's a whole different scenario for him as being a starter going into the bullpen, and you have to warm up a little different.
Ethier. He is 1 for 2 tonight with a walk. And the pitch, a ground ball pulled foul up along first. And 0-1 the count. I was thinking, Davey, about when I was filling out my scorebook tonight. The Padres took 3 of 4, and Adrian Gonzalez had a relatively quiet series.
Yes, he did.
Despite the Padres winning 3 games, Ethier has 4 hits in the series. He is 4 out of 10, but the Brewers have done a good job when pitching to Ethier. There hasn't been anybody on base. We've seen Ethier lead off an inning several times. The 0-1 outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And this is a guy that, especially right now, who had 4 homers in the 4-game series against the Pirates, that he was pretty locked in beginning this series. But the game plan has been pretty effective against Ethier all week long. The 1-1 outside, ball 2.
Well, it has, and the thing about it, that's what you'd like to have him coming up with no men on base. But I think in this ball game tonight, as you mentioned earlier, it's been the bottom of their lineup that has been very effective.
2-1 the count to Ethier. 3-1 Dodgers here in the 7th. Bases empty, 1 down. And the 2-1 pitch hit in the air, shallow left. Racing in is Ryan Braun. He'll make the play. And there's 2 down.
Ethier's probably saying, I can't wait till these guys get out of town.
Yeah, the Rockies again are in town. Meanwhile, the Brewers head east, really southeast, if you will, to Phoenix. 3 games upcoming with the Diamondbacks. I have the pitching matchups for you. It'll be Giovanni Gallardo and Edwin Jackson, who has not pitched well this year. Jackson 1-3, ERA is over 8. Pitch on the way is down low, ball 1. He was in that deal. It was a multi-team deal. Edwin Jackson was with the Tigers, and let's say that Curtis Granderson was kind of the focal point of that multi-team, multi-player deal. Ended up going from Detroit to the Yankees. And the 1-0 pitch is a strike. I know that Max Scherzer, he went to Detroit from Arizona. I believe the Diamondbacks got Jackson from the Tigers, and Ian Kennedy, he came over from the Yankees. And as part of that deal as well. And the 1-1 pitch down low. So Gallardo and Jackson tomorrow night. Then Wolf and Cesar Valdez, a right-hander, on Saturday. And then Chris Narveson and Ian Kennedy in the finale on Sunday afternoon. The 2-1 pitch, line foul, left field side. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, I'm amazed here. No, I shouldn't be amazed. You're definitely a good baseball man, but you're popping up on all these guys with these trades and the names, and you've been right on.
Well, Davey, I have no life. It's kind of sad.
No, you just do your homework. That's all.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases empty, 2 down. The pitch on the way. A swing at a chopper, softly right side, charging Weeks. He'll get there, make the flip to first, and Suppan to sharp 1-2-3-7. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's After 7. Dodgers 3, Brewers 1.
.com/cashback or visit an office today. Member FDIC.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Pitching change for the Dodgers here in the 8th inning. Left-hander Hong-Chi Kuo, one of 2 lefties in Joe Torre's bullpen. George Sherrill is the other. So Hong-Chi Kuo is on, and the Brewers have 8, 9, and 1. But again, the double switch. Jody Garrett came on to play right field to end the bottom half of the inning. So Garrett is due up second. So it'll be Escobar, Garrett, and Weeks here in the 8th inning against Hong-Chi Kuo, a very effective left-handed pitcher, David.
Yeah, he certainly is. Good stuff, man. He's got a lot of good breaking balls. And, you know, good life on his fastball. He's got a lot of movement for a lefty. His control is not too bad.
He talked about his fastball. How about this velocity? 94 to 98. And he can bring it.
You know, and that's rare for a lefty to see a lefty that throws that hard.
He was on the disabled list a bit last year with a left elbow strain. Missed around 2 months in April and July. Here is Escobar to lead off the 8th. A swing and a foul back. Good rip from Escobar. 0-1 the count. 3-1 Dodgers here in the 8th inning. Kuo is 28 years old. 6'2", 241 pounds. The pitch, swing and a miss. That was the slider. And Escobar behind 0-2. Escobar needs to battle. Behind 0-2, the leg kick, the pitch, a swing and a foul right side. And he stays alive.
I'll tell you what, you've really got to gear it up, man. That fastball at 96 miles an hour. Got to start early.
Escobar 0 for 2. He was robbed of a base hit back in the 5th and a sliding catch in the left field corner by Paul. The 0-2 is popped up. Playable back a second. DeWitt out. He's got it one way. Escobar retired, and here is Jody Garrett batting for the first time. Garrett for the year hitting .138. This is his 21st appearance, 30th at bat. 21st game, I should say, and 30th at bat. Must need one base runner, and then the tying run will be at the plate. And the pitch, Garrett showed bunt and took a strike. And I see it makes sense why Joe Torre went with the lefty in this situation. The pitch, a swing and a ground ball foul. Again, with Carlos Gomez injured, the Brewers don't have a right-handed bat on their bench.
No, and that's been the knock on the Brewers, is that they're so left-handed on the bench that, with the left-handed pitcher there, as you're going to see with Garrett here, then at the top of the order.
0-2 the count. The pitch on the way, missed down low, 1 ball.
You look, Jim Edmonds. So it's a lot of teams, if they have a lefty, they know that coming off the bench, they're top heavy with left-handers.
1-2 strikes, 1 out, 8th inning. The pitch, Garrett swings and bangs foul. As you kind of take a look at some of the lefty arms in the Central Division, a guy like Trevor Miller with St. Louis comes to mind. Arthur Rhodes in Cincinnati. Daniel Ray Herrera, who throws that screwball.
Yeah.
And so there are some. Jeremy Affeldt, but he's with the Giants. A 1-2 pitch. Garrett strikes out in a high fastball. And there are 2 down. And here is Weeks.
Clear second baseman, number 23, Jeffrey Weeks.
38,456 the attendance tonight. So after 50,000 on Tuesday, at 35 last night and 38 plus here tonight. And we already saw Joe England, Davey. He came on to pinch hit for Dave Bush back in the 6th. So Kataris and Counsell left on that bench as Ricky takes a strike. (3-1). Dodgers have the lead in the 8th inning. Base is empty, 2 down. Weeks is 0 for 3 tonight. He is 4 out of 13 in the series. And the pitch, swing and a miss. And Hung-Chi Kuo, he is wasting no time. He has been firing strikes here in this 8th frame.
Well, I was looking at his stats. He's 0-1 with a 6.75 ERA in 4 games. I'm saying, how is that happening the way he's throwing tonight?
The 0-2 pitch. Ricky strikes out. Came right back with the slider. A 1-2 3/8 for Kuo. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's. After 7 1/2, it remains 3-1 Dodgers.
Always offered exceptional service and little.
A message from the Wisconsin DOT.
Leads off the Dodgers 8th and takes down low, ball 1. 3-1 Dodgers. Blake 0 for 2 with a walk tonight, 2 out of 11 in the series. And the 1-0 pitch that bounces in the dirt, ball 2. Dodgers lead by 2, 3-1. And you know that big Jonathan Broxton is warming up in the bullpen, the Dodgers closer, who can reach 100 miles per hour with his fastball. Suppan behind 2-0. Here's the pitch to Blake. Strike called. And a belt-high fastball. And the Brewers will have some good bats up in the ninth. Edmonds, check that. Yeah, it'll be Edmonds, Braun, Fielder, 2, 3, and 4. The 2-1 pitch, missed outside, ball 3. And down by 2, only need one base runner. And then you have the tying run at the plate. Now the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 to Blake, a leadoff walk here in the 8th inning.
Well, that's not what you want to start this inning off. Certainly, the Dodgers are going to try to manufacture a run here. Well, they've done a good job when they've been able to hit and run, the Dodgers have.
Larry Boa turned to his right, looked inside the Dodgers third base dugout. That's signs from Joe Torre. And let's see what the Dodgers will do, leading by 2 in the 8th inning with a runner at first and nobody out, and Russell Martin in the box. They had a hit and run last time up in the same situation. Blake at first and nobody out. Martin singled to right. And Blake took third, did not show bunt, and took outside, ball 1. Casey McGee, though, is keeping an eye on this at bat, so he was playing in. I wonder if Martin is waiting for Suppan to throw him a strike. Just walk Casey Blake, missed outside, ball 1. Throw over, and Blake is back in. Approaching 10 o'clock here on the West Coast. We thank you for staying up late with us. Ball and no strikes to Martin. 3-1 Dodgers here in the 8th. The runner goes, the pitch, a swing and a foul back.
Joe Torre is certainly in the right situation. He's been very active. You have a guy like Russell Martin at the plate who's a good contact hitter. And right there, he really did a nice job. The pitch was down out of the strike zone, was able to foul it off.
1 ball, 1 strike. Blake at first. Has a good lead. He's going again. The pitch. A ground ball to third. Glove by McGee. Second for 1. The relay to first. Double play. 5-4-3 twin killing. A Charter Communications double play ball. That's the second one turned tonight. And again called 888. Get Charter today and see how you can lock your rate in until 2012. Big double play right there before Blake DeWitt steps in. We step out. 10 for station ID on the Brewers Radio Network.
This is your news, weather, and traffic station, and the home of the Packers, Brewers, Badgers, and Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just like that, 2 down. DeWitt takes a strike. Boy, with the runner going, David, that's exactly what you need to turn a double play. A sharply hit ball right at your infield. The pitch outside.
Well, it was a hard hit ball to Casey. Didn't hesitate. He knew if he got a good strong throw to Ricky, they'd be able to turn the double play. And it starts with Casey making a good throw.
And Ricky hung in there. He knew Blake was coming hard. And a perfect throw. And got Martin easily down the first base side. The pitch hit in the air, deep right center. Edmonds going back with room on the track. He's got it. Boy, DeWitt gave that one a ride, but Edmonds made the catch, and the inning is over. All right, 8 complete here at Dodger Stadium. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's. The Brewers need 2 to tie. Dodgers 3, Brewers 1. Back to the 9th after this on the Brewers Radio Network.
Growth, that's Wisconsin transfer toad at a time, and proud partner of the Brewers Radio Network.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Inning here at Dodger Stadium, and the Brewers are down by 2. They'll try and rally. Against one of the bigger closers in baseball, right-hander Jonathan Broxton. 6'4", 300 pounds. 25 years old, an all-star last year with 36 saves. He has only one save this year. And that one save occurred back on April 18th here at Dodger Stadium against the Giants. This is his 10th appearance overall. But he is on to face hitters 2, 3, and 4. Edmonds, Braun, Fielder in the 9th inning.
You know, Corey, he's a throwback from the old days as far as the closer. He just goes right after you.
Edmonds 0 for 3 tonight, 3 strikeouts. The pitch, a swing and a ground ball, foul. And Broxton, as I mentioned, was an all-star last year, but if memory serves correct, he had a toe injury that kept him out of the all-star game, and he came off the roster, and Trevor Hoffman, I believe, took his spot.
Exactly right. See, I told you, you're the man.
Leg kick and the 0-1 pitch. Edmonds looks outside. Ball 1. Now remember that because the Dodgers were in Milwaukee for the final few games before the break last year. Just need one base runner. The kick, the 1-1 pitch. Checked his swing. Edmonds took inside, ball 2. And, you know, closers are interesting people. And they'll tell you that they need to feel it. It's all about feel for closers. And it's been a while since Broxton has been in this spot. And he's been here before, but you start to think about rust.
Oh, yeah.
The kick and the 2-1 to Edmonds. A swing and a foul back. Jimmy had a good read at that one. A good swing on it. Fouled it back 2-2.
And you talk about closers, you know, they like getting a lot of work, and he's only had one save, and that's the only save the Dodgers have, and that's pretty amazing. But they like that heat of the moment, the game on the line. You know, when it's like that, they can keep that good edge.
Edmonds in the box. Ryan Braun due up next. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martin the sign. Broxton's 2-2 pitch. Low, ball 3. This is a power pitcher up against a savvy vet. Broxton will throw a slider, but his best pitch by far, that 4-seam fastball. The 3-2 pitch, a swing and a foul back. A couple of good hacks from Edmonds in this at-bat.
And Jim is staying with a nice, short, quick swing. You know, a lot of times hitters think that you have to, the harder the guy throws, the harder you swing, but you got to stay soft.
Shorten up your swing a little bit?
Yes, exactly. Get a good start, shorten the swing up, and let him supply all the power.
3-1 Dodgers here in the 9th. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Edmonds was a step down the first base line. But Tim Timmons said it caught the zone. And 1 down here in the 9th inning.
That was a pretty good slider. I think it caught Jimmy by surprise. He was looking fastball all the way, but that was a pretty good slider.
Ryan Braun 1 for 3. He has singled, stole a base, struck out, and bounced out to short. Again, you love these matchups. Power and power. Broxton to Braun. The kick and the pitch on the way. A swing and a pop fly foul. First base side. That's going to get out of play. 0-1. Folks, as you know, fresh is best. Like fresh, crisp kraut, sauerkraut stacked high on a tasty using your brat hot off the grill. And a little of that Silver Spring beer and brat mustard, and you've got yourself a wonderful meal. Great for tailgate parties, backyard barbecues, or right now, Usinger's great tasting sausages. Strike 2 to Braun. Slider from Broxton.
Sometimes it's just not fair that a guy throws that hard and then he has a pretty good slider to go with it.
Fielder due up next. Braun has 5 hits in the series. His batting average, an impressive .354. Behind 0-2. And the pitch, high ball 1. That was the fastball, 96. Ball 1. (3-1) LA here in the 9th. Bases empty, 1 down. The 1-2 pitch. Braun strikes out. Or did he get a piece? He got a piece. He fouled it off. He stays alive. As Broxton came back with the slider. He'll do it again.
It was a nasty slider, too. And Bronny did a nice job just to get a piece of it. Boy, Broxton is just one of those old-time closers, boy. Fastball slider goes right after you.
He's a Georgia boy, born in Augusta. And now lives in Waynesboro. A 1-2 pitch, a ground ball up the middle, base hit center field. Ryan Braun took that slider right back up the chute. And the Brewers have a man on and now bring the tying run to the box. And his name is Prince Fielder.
Nice piece of hitting. And, Russell Martin was sitting away. And the slider came right over the middle of the plate.
Braun at first. The big run right now is at home plate. And the pitch. Fielder swings and rips one down the right field line, landing foul. Foul by a couple of feet. Bouncing to the right of the chalk and landing on the dirt. And Prince turned on that pitch and yanked it foul 0-1.
Well, this is what you like to see. A good matchup. You got a power hitter, power pitcher. Tried to trick Prince with a slider, and he yanked it foul.
(3-1) Dodgers here in the 9th. Braun at first, 1 away. Broxton to Prince. Delivers 0-1. Fastball outside. That was 96. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I think in this situation, Broxton's going to go after Prince with his best stuff, and that's his fastball. And especially till he gets 2 strikes on it, probably. But you never want to get beat with your second best pitch.
The 1-1. Fielder, a ground ball right side, base hit right field towards the line. Braun to third, Fielder to first. Runners at the corners, 1 away, and Casey McGee due up. Right in the hole past James Loney, the Dodgers first baseman. And the Brewers in business here against Broxton in tonight's 9th inning.
Well, Prince did a nice job. He was a slider down and in, and Prince yanked it past the first baseman. But right there, once again, his slider's a good pitch, but it's not his best pitch. And you've got a hitter like Prince up there, you got to go after him with your fastball.
So the tying run is now at first, and the go-ahead run is at the plate in Casey McGee, 1 for 3 tonight. The Brewers out hitting the Dodgers, trail 3-1 on the scoreboard. The pitch to McGee is low, ball 1, popped away from Martin temporarily. And no advance by either runner. A ball and no strikes. Boy, McGee loves to drive the ball to the opposite field. A huge gap in right center. And the 1-0 pitch. McGee hits a high fly ball, got under it. Shallow center. Kemp is in. The catch. Braun will tag and hold as the throw comes back in.
You know, if that was if it was a one-run ball game, Brad Fisher probably would have sent Bronny right there, but in this situation, no.
That just makes sense. I mean, Braun's run is not the important run right now. I mean, that, you know, with Fielder at first base, you want to keep this inning alive. And that's, and Kemp has got a great arm. Kemp has a very good arm in center. Casey McGee, Davey, was walking back to the dugout, and he chucked his helmet inside the dugout. That's a pitch he would like to see again.
Oh, without a doubt. He was right where he wanted it, but just got under it.
It's up to Greg Zaun. 1 for 3 in RBI. That's from the left side. Broxton's pitch. Strike call. Both starting pitchers, the pitchers of record right now, Eli and Bush. And the 0-1's on. A line drive, left field, base hit. Braun scores, Fielder to second. Greg Zaun drives in his second RBI of the game. And the Brewers now trail 3-2. And the tying run is now in scoring position at second base.
Great piece of hitting by Greg Zaun. Fastball tailing on the outside part of the plate, up a little bit. Didn't try to pull the ball, stayed right with it and just drove it into left field.
And because of the double switch earlier, this is now the pitcher's spot, so Craig Counsell is going to pinch hit for Suppan. 3-2. Dodgers lead, trimmed to 1. Fielder at second, Zaun at first, Counsell at the plate. Here's the pitch. Strike call. Counsell had a big pinch hit. RBI single in the 8th inning last night, an inning that turned out to be a 5-run inning. Limited time this year. Counsell batting .326. From the stretch, Broxton's 0-1. Strike 2. Back-to-back fastballs, and Counsell is behind. Oh, and 2 the count to Counsell. Down by a run here in the 9th inning. Broxton, the sign from Martin. The kick and the 0-2 pitch. A swing and a pop fly. Foul, third base side. Blake slides, no play. That ball landed about 2 rows back. Blake went out. And Counsell stays alive.
That was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, my goodness. And Craig got a piece of it.
How about that? Coming off the bench, first at bat of the night, and you got a guy throwing 96 and 97. It's a tough job. A pinch hitter. That's why guys like Lenny Harris and Darrell Ward had some nice years.
Yes.
Again, the 0-2 pitch inside, ball 1. Well, Broxton now messing around. That's 4 straight fastballs this at bat to Counsell.
Well, and that's his bread and butter is his fastball, and you know you're not going to fool around trying to throw a slider. If you do, you better make sure it's down. The Crew trying to rally. Won the first 2 games.
Down by 1 here in the 9th. 2 on, 2 down. The 1-2 pitch. Counsell, a ground ball up the middle. Base hit in shallow center. Fielder rounding third. He's going to score, and we're tied at 3. A ground ball over the mound got past Broxton, past second, and then both Carroll and DeWitt made diving attempts, and one of the infielders got a glove on it, and the other one could not find it, and Brad Fisher did not hesitate for a second. Fielder heading home the entire time, and this game is tied 3-3 as the Brewers have scored 2 here in the 9th inning.
Great piece of hitting by Craig Counsell. You know, that was a battle up there. Throwing 96, 97 miles an hour. Came back with a fastball, got it out over the plate, and the good thing, Craig just tried to stay right with it, and some good heads-up base running by Prince Fielder and some aggressive coaching by Brad Fisher.
Once that ball, Davey, got by the second base bag, the shortstop Carroll made a diving attempt to his left. He got a glove on it, but then the second baseman DeWitt was trying to make a diving play as well. It went from the glove of Carroll to the body of DeWitt, so it hit both infielders, and neither one could find it, and Fielder scored without a throw.
Yeah, and if either one could have found the ball, Brad Fisher would have had to hold Prince up.
I don't know.
He
Fish
had the momentum going.
Yeah, Fish could have put up the stop sign, but I think Prince was coming home regardless. Well, now the go-ahead run. And Greg Zahn is at second. Here is Alcides Escobar. The kick and the pitch is a strike. So no save for Broxton. And Dave Bush will have a no decision. And Eli denied his first big league win. If the Brewers can rally and get one more, they've already rallied, but get another run, then this is Supon's game to win. The leg kick, the 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, slider. And it's 0-2.
Well, I know it's easy for me to say, but if Alcides could just, think right field, because even with the slider or the fastball, he's got a chance.
0-2 the count. Zahn at second, Counsell at first. The kick and the pitch. Escobar strikes out. And the inning is over. But the Brewers rally. Get 2 runs on 4 hits. Leave 2. Brewers Radio presented by Kohl's after 8 1/2. Our new score, Brewers 3, Dodgers 3.
Whether you're new to the game or have been a fan since you were a kid, One.com, Marine Bank, member FDIC.
Boy, some clutch 2-out hitting by the Brewers there in the top of the 9th inning. 2 outs back-to-back. RBI singles from Zahn, and Counsell does it again. Had a pinch hit, RBI hit last night. Another one tonight, and this one tied the game. Braun and Fielder scored in the top of the 9th inning. It's 3-3, bottom 9 in L.A. as LaTroy Hawkins is on to work for the Crew.
Well, we talked about it, how the bench has done a nice job, especially Craig Counsell and England coming off the bench, and all that hard work is paying off. Those guys come out for early work. Counsell getting some playing time. Played in a couple of games over in San Diego, so boy, had a great at bat.
10 RBIs for Counsell. And now it's Hawkins. Nice job by Jeff Suppan. Nice job by the bullpen tonight. Claudio Vargas, Suppan, 3 scoreless innings combined. Jamie Carroll leads off the Dodgers 9th and takes a strike. So here is Hawkins, a veteran right-hander appearing in his 13th game. He is 0-2, ERA over 6. Carroll 1 for 3 tonight. A line drive to left, base hit. Braun in the gap, cuts it off, and Carroll is at first, a leadoff single here in the Dodger ninth. Hawkins worked last night, a scoreless 8th inning. A couple of strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 walk. And now here is Garrett Anderson, who had a pinch hit RBI single himself last night of the 6th inning. That pulled the Dodgers within 1. Anderson hitting 136 so far this year. Let's see if he will try to bunt Carroll down to second. McGee is playing back for now. Anderson at the plate, and Hawkins throws over.
Well, I tell you, Corey, I don't see Joe Torre giving Garrett Anderson the bunt sign. Garrett's a pretty good hitter, veteran player.
McGee playing at the edge of the infield grass. Carroll's got a nice lead at first, about a 4-step lead. Righty versus lefty, does not show bunt, takes a fastball high, ball 1. Joe Torre had some options on his bench. I think you're right, Davey. He could have brought on Belliard. He could have brought on Reed Johnson, a couple of veteran guys who, especially Reed Johnson. Reed Johnson's a great bunter. But he went with Anderson here in the 9th. And the 1-0 is a strike, 1-1.
Well, Garrett knows how to work the count. Plus, I think Joe Torre right here here's a guy that can end the game for you right now with one swing of the bat.
And his last sacrifice bunt about 10 years ago. It was May 17th, 2000. So he's up here to swing.
Yep, that's right.
Tied at 3 in the 9th. Carroll at first. Nobody out. And the 1-1 to Anderson is high, ball 2. He has bounced into 1 double play this year. He won a world championship with the Angels. With the Braves last year, hit 13 home runs. And again, was a non-roster invitee this spring and made the Dodgers out of spring training. A check on Carroll, and he slides back in.
Now, one of the things about Garrett Anderson, what makes him such a danger, is the fact that he knows he's going up there with a game plan. He knows what the pitcher's going to try to do to him, and he's going to sit on a certain pitch and look for it.
Zahn sets up towards the outside corner, and the 2-1 pitch, a little soft fly, shallow center. Edmonds in, makes the catch. 1 down. So Anderson retired. Carroll remains at first, and the batter is Xavier Paul. Paul is had a nice night at the plate and in left field defensively. He is 1 for 3, an RBI, a double, a walk, a run scored, a steal. The Dodgers had a 3-0 lead after 2. But the Brewers have come back to score 3 unanswered, including 2 with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. Righty versus lefty, a check on Carroll. And he's back in. That was a low throw from Hawkins. Fielder to kind of reach down, make a backhanded play in the dirt. Hawkins to Paul. Here's the pitch. A swing and a fly ball to left down the line. Braun over. That ball lands foul. Out of play. 38,456 at Dodger Stadium tonight. Most of whom have departed. It's still a very loud and vocal group remains at the ball yard. 0-1 the count to Paul. Carroll at first with one away. Tied at 3 in the ninth, and the pitch. A swing and a pop-up foul. Third base side. That's going to reach the seats, and it's 0-2.
You know, watching LaTroy Hawkins against Paul here, he's been throwing fastballs, elevating up and trying to get the young man to pop up. Because if you hit the ball on the ground, you're not going to double him up.
Paul again is a left-handed batter. He can get out of that box in a hurry. And Carroll, despite his age, he still can run. Got a big lead over at first. One away in the ninth, and the game tied 3-3. And the 0-2 pitch, breaking ball low. It's ball one. Dave Bush, no decision tonight. 5 innings, 3 runs, only 1 earned though. Struck out 4, walked 3, gave up 4 hits. Runner at first, 1 down. Check and Carroll back in, and Dave Bush again, Davey, outside of 1 start. His main job, and I think this is the case for any starting pitcher, is to keep your team in the game and give your offense a chance. And Dave Bush, for the most part, has done that each and every time out, except for 1 start this year.
Well, that's right, and he certainly did it again tonight. And only 1 earned run he gave up.
Now the 1-2 pitch, a line drive, base hit to left. Carroll to second. He will turn but stop as Braun throws it back in. It was a 1-2 pitch, and that was up in the zone, and Paul is on base for the 3rd time, opposite field single. So now the Dodgers have the winning run at second base.
And the difference with that fastball up, and it was out over the plate. The other fastballs he's thrown Xavier Paul to pop him up have been in on him and up, but he can extend a lot better with the pitch away.
And the Brewers made a double switch earlier, so Jody Garrett is now in right. Edmonds is now in center and Braun in left. And here is Matt Kemp. 0 for 3 with a walk. Dangerous hitter. 2 on, 1 down, 3-3 in the ninth, and the pitch. Strike call. It's a breaking ball to begin this at bat. The Brewers have never swept the Dodgers in franchise history. And after winning the first 2 of this series, have a chance. Need to get to the 10th inning. Stare back, and Carroll slides back in. No throw. Oh, 1 the count to Kemp. Hawkins set, and the pitch on the way. Breaking ball, a check swing low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now Kemp, he is a double play candidate. Davey, he has bounced into 3 double plays this year.
Well, and hopefully that's what they're going to try to entice him to do here, because you certainly don't want to face Ethier, who's on deck, to come up here with men on base.
1 ball, 1 strike. Carroll at second. Paul at first. With 1 away, game tied 3-3. And the 1-1 pitch, a swing and a bouncing ball foul up along third. And it's 1-2.
But I really liked that pitch by Hawkins. He really came up and in with some movement on his fastball. And Kemp tried to get on top, but all he could do was hit it in the ground. You know, right now he's got an option of coming back with a breaking ball as long as he can get it down and away.
A ball and 2 strikes. 2 on, 1 away. Hawkins to Kemp. Here's the 1-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked skillfully by Zahn. And the shin guards down, gliding to his right, kept that ball in the webbing of his glove. That's ball 2. And plays like that, late in the game, tight spots, you always remember those.
Well, you certainly do. And once again, it was a breaking ball, but it was just too far out of the zone. Never even close enough to have the hitter attempt at it. I think in that situation, what Hawkins was trying to do was go for the strikeout.
2 balls, 2 strikes. To Matt Kemp. Runners at first and second, 1 away. Last of the 9th inning. Leg kick, the 2-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Zahn. Carroll trying for 3. He's going to make it without a throw. That'll be a wild pitch on a breaking ball that bounced in front of home plate. And Jamie Carroll, he had a good look at it. And once he saw that ball pop away from Zahn, he was heading to third without hesitation.
Heads up base running, and that's going to have the Brewers bring their infield in because you can't anticipate a double play.
Infield is up. Dodgers have the winning run at third with 1 away. 3-2 the count to Kemp. The leg kick and the payoff pitch. Ball 4. And here is Andre Ethier. And there's nowhere to put him, and Rick Peterson going out for a quick trip to the mound. Ethier and Davey and I have documented how clutch this guy has been in this spot. Last year accounted for 6 of the Dodgers' 12 walk-off wins. And the Brewers have pitched him well in this series. He does have 4 hits, but this is the spot that the Brewers, for the most part, in this series, Davey, have avoided when facing Ethier.
Well, exactly right. And the one thing here is that I'm not sure if Ken Maka was want to try to play for a double play. I think you still have to try to keep the infield in.
And the infield, you're right, is up. McGee, Council, Weeks, fielder. Jamie Carroll at third base. He's the game's most important run right now. And the game's most important runner. Hawkins to Ethier. The kick and the pitch in the dirt, blocked by Zahn. He kept it in front. Trickling on the dirt in front of home plate. Ball 1.
And Corey, and the outfielders are way in. You move them in enough to where if they can catch a fly ball, they need to throw the guy out.
Yeah, because you figure you bring the infield, you bring the outfield in. Because any deep fly, the guy's going to score anyway. What
Exactly.
you want to prevent is the little bloop hit.
Right.
A little soft flare anywhere in the outfield. So the infield is up. The outfield is shallow. The leg kick and the 1-0 pitch. Ball 2.
Very dangerous here now. 2 balls, no strikes. You can't afford to go 3-0. So he's got to make a tough pitch right here.
Ethier 2 out of 3 lifetime against Hawkins. 3-3 bottom 9. 2 balls and no strikes. Big pitch right here. The 2-0. Ethier, a swing and a miss. And Hawkins challenged him with a fastball. That was 90 miles per hour, 2-1.
Well, and it was in a good spot. It was up around the letters, and Ethier couldn't catch up with it.
You ask any hitter, that's the most appetizing pitch, that high fastball. They love it, especially a slugger, a power hitter. 2-1 the count to Ethier. Bases loaded in the 9th. The pitch, a swing and a foul out of play. Third base side, 2-2.
This is a 2-2 pitch. Big pitch right here. You know, when Troy Hawkins hadn't been able to throw his breaking ball, that slider, for a strike, so this would be an ideal time to try to throw a back foot slider into Ethier.
Hawkins bends over at the waist. The sign from Zahn. From the belt. Zahn sets up inside the 2-2 pitch. A fly ball deep center, and the Dodgers are going to win it as Ethier hits a walk-off grand slam. He was sitting fastball, and Ethier crushed it over the wall in center, and the Dodgers win it on a walk-off grand slam by Andre Ethier here in the 9th inning. It's all over. Dodgers win Game 3 by a final score of 7-3. Back with the totals and summaries after this on the Brewers Radio Network. Milwaukee Brewers baseball has been brought to you by Miller Lite, triple hops brewed, great taste, less filling. Frontier Airlines. Visit frontiermidwest.com. By Badger Mutual Insurance. Charter Communications. Bank Mutual. Dodge and Ram Truck Dealers. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and JS Online. U.S. Cellular. EMC Insurance, Pops Tire, Menards, and by Integrity Insurance. Here are the totals for the Dodgers. 7 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 7 left on base. For the Brewers tonight, 3 runs on 8 hits, an error, and 5 left on. Jonathan Broxton picks up the win. He is now 2-0. The loss goes to LaTroy Hawkins. He drops to 0-3. In a game that was played in 3 hours and 30 minutes and witnessed by 38,456. Again, the final on an Andre Ethier walk-off grand slam. Dodgers 7, Brewers 3. Davey, time for you to name tonight's Chevrolet star of the game.
My star of the game, the Chevy star of the game, Greg Zahn.
Zahn tonight, Davey, 2 for 4, a couple of singles, 2 RBIs. He had a good night, good pick. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, my friend.
Brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevrolet offers 8 models with an EPA estimated 30 miles per gallon, highway or better. Chevrolet, official sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, folks, that is our broadcast for this Thursday night. This reminder will come to you next from Chase Field in Phoenix as the Brewers continue this West Coast trip. Game 1 against the Diamondbacks tomorrow night. Join us for our Jockey pregame show beginning at 8:05, leading up to the first pitch at 8:40. It'll be Giovanni Gallardo toward Game 1 against Arizona right-hander Edwin Jackson. 8:05 pregame, 8:40 first pitch tomorrow night from Phoenix. This is Corey Provis saying so long for now. Speaking on behalf of Bob Uecker, Davey Nelson, and Ken Sommerfeld. Once again, the final score, the Dodgers 7 and the Brewers 3. Stay tuned for the postgame show, which I'll have for you next on the Brewers Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Tim